The first game, the AFC Championship game, has a little bit of a disappointing aspect to it with the starting quarterback Bo Nix being down for the rest of the season with that freak injury at the very end of that game against Buffalo. But as I said on the early line show, I took Denver plus the 5.5. And I also liked the over at 40.5. Now that line has been on the move since then. The spread is now Denver plus 4.5 consensus in most places, or 4 depending on where you're at. And the total has moved all the way up to 42.5. So if you got the over from the early line show, at least you're getting some closing line value as well as the spread with Denver. And again, I have Denver winning this game 26-21. So we'll see how that goes. But we also have some other bets for this game. So let's jump right into the other bets outside of our picks from the early line show. And the first one is first half tie in the Patriots Broncos game at plus 800. Now, obviously, this is you don't want to bet your whole bankroll on this type of bet, but it's certainly a fun one. And with odds of 8-1, I really think there's a good opportunity that the first half of this game ends in a tie, maybe 10-10, because I don't think both teams are going to come out, trying to, take deep shots. I think there's going to be a lot of handoffs, especially in the first half of this game, because I think both coaches will want to look to mitigate the possible mistakes by their quarterbacks. And let's be honest, as well as Drake Maye has played at times, he's also been very turnover prone. I think he's had 4 or 5 fumbles in just the playoffs alone. So, and this pass rush for the Broncos is the best pass rush maybe in the NFL. Them in Houston, we saw what Houston was able to do. Now you've got Nick Bonito and the Broncos and their, high-powered defense with their pass rush and their really good secondary going to put pressure on Drake Maye. So you don't want him making mistakes. And the same thing with Stidham. Patriots defense has been playing very well. Vrabel's got this team really on, firing on all cylinders, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So you don't want to put Jarrid Stidham in a situation where he could potentially cost you the game with a strip sack or a pressure fumble or trying to, make a play, off-platform play that leads to a turnover and gives the Patriots easy points. So I do think there's a real possibility that the first half of this game ends in a tie. And again, at 8-1, I really like those odds. It's something maybe I'll put a quarter of a unit on, and let's see. It's a fun bet to make, and we'll see how it goes. And again, I like the over 40.5. I do think the points will come in the second half of this game. And one of the props I like for the first game is Drake Maye under 225.5 passing yards. And that goes back to what I was saying, that I think we're going to see more handoffs, especially in the first half of this game, as both coaches will look to try to limit the mistakes that their quarterbacks can make, not put their team in bad situations. Punting is fine. Field position is going to be a thing, especially for the Patriots, because if they feel like they have an advantage with Stidham playing as opposed to Bo Nix, then they're going to look to want to pin Denver back in their own area and try to make them make mistakes and give their defense an opportunity to create havoc and cause turnovers, maybe score points on their own. I do think the Broncos are also going to run the ball with Dobbins is coming back, I believe. So we're going to see Dobbins and Harvey as a 1-2 punch, and the offensive line for the Broncos is really good. Patriots have been decent against the run, but I think this offensive line is one of the better offensive lines they're going to see. The Patriots offensive line, particularly on the left side, has struggled with the pass rush. So again, we could see them handing the ball off, not wanting to put Drake Maye in bad positions with long developing plays that give the pass rush an opportunity to get to him and create turnovers. So again, under 225 yards. The second half, we could see the passing game change, but as long as the game stays close and they're not falling behind and have to change the game script to a pass-heavy game script, I think the Patriots are going to look to ride Ramondre Stevenson and Henderson and just try to, again, get out of here with a win. That's all they want. It doesn't have to be pretty as long as you win. So I think Drake Maye under 225 yards, and he's actually been pretty good. I think he's gone over this number 12 times in the regular season. Once against the Chargers, but then he only had 179 on 27 attempts, 16 completions against Houston. And again, this is a much better I don't say much better. This is probably the best defense they're going to face next to Houston. And we saw how good Houston's defense was, if not for the 5 turnovers or whatever it was by C.J. Stroud and the Texans offense, the Patriots may not even be playing in this game. So again, I think they're going to look to mitigate mistakes by Drake Maye in this offense, and they're going to run the ball. So I like Drake Maye under 225 passing yards. And then my other prop for this game is going to be Evan Ingram over 2.5 receptions. Now he hasn't gone crazy, but he's had between 3 and 4 targets, I believe, over the last 5 games. And what do we know about, quarterbacks that are backups or guys that haven't had a lot of playing time? They're going to look to the tight end because it's usually over the middle of the field. Tight ends are usually quarterback-friendly passing routes. The windows for the tight end are usually a lot easier to get. They're closer to the line of scrimmage, so it gives the quarterback more confidence to make that throw as opposed to a down-the-field throw, especially against this Patriots secondary with Gonzalez and the rest of their team who's been playing at an outstanding level. What the hell? All right, something was wrong with the camera. But anyway, with the secondary of the Patriots and how good they are, you're not going to want to force the ball downfield to Cortland Sutton and their other wide receivers. Look to Evan Ingram and look to the running backs in the screen game, getting these offensive linemen out there and blocking, throwing underneath to the tight end. So I think Evan Ingram over 2.5 receptions is a good play in this game between the Patriots and the Broncos.